Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back with another video with Linksy. Today we have was initially was going to be a 20 turn campaign thing, and I have recorded that video and it exists, and it's an absolute maniac. It was just a crazy an hour and a half. Yeah, it turned out into an hour and a half. I did get to turn 19. I was doing absolutely fine. We had captured most of Italy, etc. But it was an hour and a half, and it became very repetitive. And I realized I could do the first 10 turns and discuss most of the mechanics of the game, the first 10 turns, and after that it's just reapplying it in the current correct situation. The AI is unpredictable, and there are things that will happen which you don't necessarily or cannot necessarily predict what will happen. There are bugs in the game, and that is why then it will be up to your own personal um, decisions on what to do, where to go, how to act, etc. I'll try to give you the basics. I'll try to give you the ideas what you should do to start off with, to set yourself in a really decent place, and we can move on from there. Now, first things first, we need to discuss the different. So every one of these cultures has its own subcultures. So if you were to look at the Greek states, you have Massilia, Sparta, Athens, Epirus, and Syracuse. But in the case of Rome and Carthage, this is very unique to them. I don't think anyone has. No, they don't. Very unique to them. They have sub factions inside their culture. So you have, in the case of Rome, you have the House of Julia, you have the House of Junia, you have the House of Cornelia. Now, all these three factions have different base stats. You have the general stats up here, which is marching order, movement range for all armies, so you move faster, and you have 2 extra recruitment costs per province, which is absolutely insane because you can raise huge armies really fast. So keeping that in mind, and keeping in mind that then up top of that you can get different statistics. So the House of Julia gets you 15% melee attack during battles against barbarian tribes and +6 to cultural conversion. Now on legendary difficulty this is absolutely insane. That 15% melee attack, since you are Rome, you'll be having lots of legionnaires, which are very heavy melee fighters who will get in there, get into the fight, and spend good 15 minutes of the battle just non-stop chewing at the enemy forces, and you will get hordes of enemies coming at you. You will get non-stop hordes of these just huge gigantic armies that will come at you, try to carve your territories in pieces. So it's a really good bonus to have, but the real big bonus is the fast cultural conversion. What you're doing there is that you're getting your provinces, you're expanding really fast because you're beating the tribes and other enemies really fast. So you're capturing 2 or 3 settlements per turn, right? Every turn you're gonna get 6 cultural conversions per settlement, which is absolutely insane, as that will help you to stabilize. And we'll see instantly in Brindisum and Consensio how the foreign culture impacts a province. And then there is House of Junia, which this is a bit more relaxed faction. This is a faction I personally would play if I was going on hard, or maybe even very hard, which is doable. But that's because this is a faction which is based on economy, and this is if you're going for an economic victory. It's a faction that has a lot of public order with regards to Latin culture. It has a faction that gives you a lot of wealth from agricultural buildings. So you will expand, you still have the military might of Rome, but you can build a stronger economy. And then there's the House of Cornelia, which is my favorite. I will not do a video on this because I've already done a campaign just playing as the House of Cornelia on the live stream. You can check it down in the description box below, and you will also check out Spiffing Britt. Just an amazing guy. His videos are absolutely insane. You probably already know of them because I am a nobody and he is a titan, honestly, in the gaming community. Anyway, he did this video once and I tried to replicate it successfully, actually, where you just build up an entire army with auxiliary infantry for almost no cost whatsoever. I was paying something 40 gold per unit of auxiliary infantry, and I had 6 armies of auxiliary infantry within 20 turns. And you're going to see how crazy that is, because in this build that I'm going to do with the House of Julia, I'll have maybe 2 armies at turn 10, according to how it goes and according to the situation, and according we don't get any glitches. That's absolutely insane. So we're not going to go with this upkeep, and they also have something which is really good, is that there is less penalties for public order from foreign cultures. But without further ado, let's start with the House of Julia. It's absolutely what most people play with when they start Rome. It's when you're opening Rome for the first time. You say, "Oh, I want to play as the Romans." Yeah, the Romans. Just the epic Romans, and you don't even think twice. Like, see, oh, also Julia. That's it. Let's go. Let's start. Go, 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 go. You might tweak around a little bit with the difficulty settings. If you're like me and you're macho and you're like, "Oh, I think I can do really well." The first time you play it on easy. Yeah, the first time I ever played this game, I played it on hard. I think I got my ass whooped so badly that I went back to easy within the first day. Hey, 400 hours later, I'm playing on legendary and I'm doing absolutely fine. And hopefully, this video will help you to play and understand better the key mechanics at the start of the game, because those are really, really important. We'll get to 10 turns really quickly. Just keep that in mind. It's not that difficult to survive the first turns. And once you've survived, though, the first, 10, 20 turns, then it's up to you to start stabilizing things. And on the 10th turn, I will do some pointers of where and what directions you can take. And if you take those directions, what solutions you can have for potential problems. So I'll have a discussion on that as well, because it's something that's very important as a discussion to have, as Rome is one of the easiest factions to play, because again, you want the key faction in your game to be the most fun. You can go against 3-4 armies and beat the crap out of them with one army, and that's absolutely okay. But if you're playing on very hard difficulties, very hard and legendary difficulty, it's going to be very difficult. So the first thing you need to do is, you see this army over here, we have 2,600 gold. Yeah, we're going to disband this. We're almost 2,900 gold per turn. We're gonna come here, we're going to disband this. We're 3,300 gold. That's going to give us so much. Now we come here and we see what we can develop. We see these two settlements and we see these two settlements. We automatically expand the city here and start building a villa. Why? We need food, and the food that's going to come, it's going to be very important. And we built a fishing port. Now I need you to come all the way up here, and while she's doing that, we go to military, we unlock supply reforms. So we need to kill this army, the champions of Uni, and those are absolutely important. We take it out, as it will save us a lot of pain later on. This is an auto-resolvable battle, and he will just go up there, which is absolutely okay. We can auto-resolve that, and we can take Velaltri very easily the turn after. So you don't even need to fight this. If you want to fight this to get used to the game, go ahead, it's absolutely okay. But as you can see, we have only 3 units to fight against, and this is because it's important to seize the initiative in the first turn. Now we'll just choose aggressive stance because we have a decent army. Now his entire army died, mostly because he retreated, and after you retreat once, the next time you're attacked, you will lose everything. Now, we took a little bit of damage, but that's absolutely okay. We'll take Strategist, and we will leave you activated, because that will give us a bit of food, and you'll gain a little bit of experience. She is very important for the general unit over there. So we got some gold as well from that. And we cannot build the garrison colony because we don't have enough money, but I will expand this and I will build that building. Public forum gives you wealth and public order and gives you the economic building, so that's very important to have early on. Since we won that battle, we got some gold. If you noticed, we will move our army there. Now when you fight battles, never ever, unless you really desperately need money or it's something like 50,000 gold coins, never enslave or kill or pillage or whatever. Always occupy or always release slaves, because that will help you a lot in terms of reputation, and the reputation is key in this game. Now in the other replay that I just did of this game, I tried to do a peace treaty with Carthage, and that's possible in this try to cheese it, since you do have a good economy and none of the other factions have any money at all, so giving them any amount of money gives it just a huge bump up. But in this case I don't think it's necessary, simply for the reason that Syracuse will declare war on Carthage. So our agent was discovered, Decimus Brutus returned home, and Scipio Azina returned home. So you will come and capture Valaltri. Again, this is a simple battle, it should not cost us much, and we will auto-resolve this with a balanced stance. Yes, it's the least damage possible. We'll take that out. We took some damage, but that's going to be okay over the next turn. As I was saying, never loot or raise, simply occupy Valaltri, especially if the culture is similar to yours. They are Latin culture, so you wouldn't need to build anything. We were unlucky because we did not get the second building, but it's okay. We are going to throw her in the army. Now, that acts twofold. First one, you get a movement speed buff in your army, so you can actually move faster. The second one, which is very important, is it gives you the opportunity to get better replenishment. Now, if your Legio does actually level up, in case of the Roman armies, always go for melee damage because that's what you're aiming for, and that's what you should get. With regards to this, now we have enough money to build our civil colonia, and we're actually not going to spend any more money because we're going to get a lot of food very soon over here next turn, and on this side we will get a decent amount of food. Now, as I was talking about, I was going to show you down here is if you open this, you can see -10 cultural differences, and that's mostly coming not from Syracuse but from Liabellum, because there is a lot of culture invasion from there, and there's a lot of Hellenic culture influence coming from Apollonia and the other trades nations. So we have a decent army over here, but we need some more troops. So we recruit 5 units. I believe we can recruit 6 units, but it's better that we're upgrading this building as soon as possible. And this should be our turn too. On next turn, we'll be able to unlock that technology, and Armenium is going to be in our reach very, very soon. We're going to have a decent army, and replenishment rates are going to be very high. Keep in mind that we already have 3,600 gold per turn, and that is so important in this. That was such a run. Oh, she leveled up. Okay. She leveled up, and she somehow did the hair monologue. But it's so important at the start of the campaign to stabilize a very good income, because that will allow you to build your economy buildings faster. And once you get your economy buildings, every turn you build something, at least one building, you're absolutely okay. She leveled up, and that's important, and I will show you exactly how to level her up. So of course, click on details, agent details, and we did get a decent stat on her. This is absolutely random every single time, but when she does level up, the spy, and she's very important, you build a supplier, and that supplier is going to start giving you replenishment in your army. Now in this case, I need to bring you here. We have a decent amount of troops, and if we come down here, we actually were in range, and that is doesn't always happen. Sometimes they move badly, so you just try to move slowly, you should be okay. We will auto-resolve this battle because there's no point in fighting it, and 92, that's us. Occupy the settlement, and Lucius Julius Libo is now in control of Armenium. They did not recruit a second army, as far as I can tell. We see all what's happening over here, and we control this settlement. Now we can issue a provincial edict. The provincial edict means we can get Romanization, commercial stimulation, bread in games, party loyalty, and tax harvesting. I almost always go for bread in games simply for that public order. You need that public order because that public order is going to help you so much stabilizing the region. Now, over here, he's already recruiting another army, and now the natural response of most people would be to just get over here, run down, take that settlement. This settlement is absolutely worthless. They can only send in an army towards you, which is of minimal importance. So in this case, we see if we did not find one of our generals, which is okay. So we're going to get Julius Brutus again. We're going to reinstate legacy. We're going to give him Italica, and we're going to give him Triare. We're throwing him in there, and we're going to give him 4 units of Hastati. While those 4 units of Hastati train, we're going to get a municipal barracks, and that's it for now. Okay, and we will get tactician now. Yes, when you level up, you're leveling up down the cunning tree. So the first one will give you strategist, which gives you cunning, gravitas, and the ability brace. The most important one that comes is tactician. Tactician gives you movement speed on your campaign. 8% movement speed means you can attack faster. Since we did now unlock the supply reforms, and I'm sorry if I'm going too fast, but you can stop me and replay it. But I'm trying to go fast to keep this as concise and as just keeping all the information that's necessary and giving it to you in a very concise manner. So you go from manipular organization and you go all the way up to cohort organization. Now that's going to take you 2 turns, 5 turns, 10 turns, 20 turns, and 36 turns. That's going to make your economy suffer a bit, you think, but keep in mind every time you're unlocking these, you're reducing the income of the cost of your army and the cost of recruitment, plus making your army much stronger. With your base income, you should be absolutely okay in recruiting the troops that you need, and you've already unlocked the municipal barracks, which is very important in giving you very strong units. Now we are going to go for the cohort organization. However, it's also ideal that you do unlock land management and you do get a little bit of the economy tree sorted, so you can start making a lot more money. However, with this build, you will be able to make money simply from raiding settlements, etc. Now this is, we are not actually going to recruit these guys here, and I'm going to take the opportunity of recruiting them up here. Now the reason why I normally recruit them down here is because there often is an army of the Etruscans that you need to be wary of that comes down this way, but it seems I didn't give them enough time to recruit them, so they will come here. As I was saying, this doesn't always work, as your army can get stuck just around here if you do not manage to move down here properly, and if you do not have your spy inside your army. So with that said, this is the end of our 3rd turn, and we already have the Roman region solid, and we control it. We have an army that we're going to start building slowly in Neapolis, which we will use to protect Neapolis and Brundisium and Consentia, and Syracuse is our trading partner, so they will not attack us outright. More likely they will attack Carthage. If they do attack you, you can raise an army. It's okay to lose Consentia and defend Brundisium. Defend Brundisium, it's a very defensible settlement. You should be okay with just adding 4 or 5 more units. Now Rome is in a good place, we have a good amount of money, and we have pretty much a full stack. So you push your units up there and you will start to fight Pavatium. Pavatium and the other, I believe, are at war, and they are not yet at war, but they might be at war. This is on turn. If you want to find out the turn, by the way, you go on records and you see we're on turn 4, and this means we've been actually very fast in capturing everything that we need in doing the right amount of expansion. Now start building these up. These guys will take some of your food, but you already had 14 food because you built the fish here and the food down there. You can also build another farm up here in Arminium, and that would be a good idea, but first make sure that you have your yellow buildings and build the amphitheater when you can. So this army is up here, but as you can see, it's not in the right distance, so I will go in fortified stance. These guys will heal almost fully. It will say 3 turns, but really it's going to be okay, and we will end our turn here, as next turn we're going to go to Pavatium and we're going to burn it down. We're going to take the settlement, and then we're going to prepare to attack Metlahan, which is just up here, which is an important settlement. And if we manage to stabilize Casplina region within 10 turns, we're going to be absolutely okay. Now this is not always possible because of a variety of reasons. Reason 1, you're going to have rebellions. Reason 2, you're going to have issues where Massilla attacks and you don't really want to fight Massilla that early on. You do need, I suggest, some legionnaires to fight their shield walls, as their shield walls tend to be very strong. Now our rate of replenishment at the moment is nothing to be proud of, but we're going to be doing very well very soon, as you will see. This should be an easy fight. They didn't build their army yet, and it's gonna be okay. For some reason it's lagging a lot recently. I've reduced the graphics again just in case, but I think I need to clean my laptop a little bit. So we're out to resolve this battle. We have a very high chance of victory. 50% of our remaining forces. We might lose a unit or 2, but it will save us a lot of time, and that's perfect. Our army is in a little bit of a bad place, but that will mean we just need to sit down for a turn or 2 in this building. We will occupy the building, and the Veneti are gone. Now, in the previous replay that I just did before this, they kind of survived because they had two massive armies. I came only at turn 6 here, so I came in one turn later. They had two massive armies already taking the other, and I was like, okay. So the AI was acting a little bit strange in the other one. Build the auditorium for Velantry, and now Pavatium, we're already fixing that, so we're gonna get some decent food from there. So if we build this, we will build also another meeting place. Rome, Italia, the province of Italia is going to be a very rich province, so might as well, as much as possible, build buildings already for economy. You can get food from Syracuse when you will capture it. This army is going to rest. It needs 5 turns until it's fully replenished, but we will be able to take Madlan relatively soon, as Madlan, I believe the Insubres will be at war with Liguria very soon, and in fact that is the case. They are at war with Liguria, and Liguria will be attacking them unless Liguria is being taken out. We will send our spy up there next turn to explore eventually, or we just move ourselves if these guys heal up. Strange that he didn't level up, but he might level up over the end turn, and we will end the turn. And yeah, we're already invading Caspilian region and securing the mountainous regions. Now, why am I securing the mountainous regions before going down south to Sicily? I know it's not historically accurate, but securing these regions allows you to making sure that you don't have invasions from the north. You do not want Hannibal coming through the mountains, Hannibal's gates. Jokes aside, Madlan is such an important settlement, mostly pretty much honestly for the fact that it has, saying they did level up, this will help our replenishment rate ever so slightly. They need another turn before we can even assault that settlement. I cannot say what's happening there. So now this is where you take a decision. I'm going to take a decision of actually resting another turn because this army is a little bit battered and it's not something I'd like to see. But I'm going to take this opportunity to start recruiting some troops down here because we have Principes. And Principes are very expensive, so we're only going to recruit 2. And I am going to upgrade the Municipal Barracks down here to... We could get auxiliary infantry and such as Hastati, which are cheaper units. They are just as good as Hastati, but they are a bit more effective, especially since you get the spears, and against the Normandic tribes up here, the Gallic tribes and the Celtic tribes, you need spears against their light horses. But it is okay. We just rest another turn, and this is absolutely alright because this is part of the process of stabilization. Now, what you're waiting on here is that either Genoa or Madlan, they attack each other and they destroy the army. Divide and conquer. This is the easiest way. You lose the least amount of troops. The Etruscans are attacking us, so it's good that we started recruiting that army down there, and we are being a little bit greedy with the economy, but we should be able to hold the Etruscans with just a couple of units. Sextus Julius Volsus has been born and a pillar of the people. That's okay. So let's check. Down here we have 3 units of Triare. They will not attack next turn because they will need to force march, and in Neapolis we do have a little bit of a defense. I will do that. Recruitment. Wait. Let's maximize the money we have. So we'll do 3 Principes and 3 Hastati, and that should be enough. They should not be able to attack us. Their movement speed to come here is on force march, and that's not enough to attack us. They are on force march, so it's okay. We have 1 more turn there. Now this is absolutely okay. They have 2 more turns to replenish, and the Insubres do not look in a healthy position. If I do take you out, let's see. There's still 2 more turns. They are actually in a very healthy place. They have a decent army and the settlement is very well defended. It's not good. Let's see these guys. Okay, these guys do have a big army, so they're possibly going to attack. And just to keep in track, this is on turn 7. Hopefully this turn they will move up and attack Madlahan, and their army start taking attrition. Meanwhile, our army should be healed just in time, and we should take Madlahan around turn 10. Neapolis is going to be defended, and this army should not attack, and then we can slowly build Italic army up to a point where we can just sail out and kill this. This is just a spam stack of Italian spearmen. We're going to end this turn, and we're going to see what's going to happen. Carthage at this point is just going to ignore you. I think turn 8 usually, so this turn or next turn, it declares war on Syracuse, but it's not always the case, as you know, it's according to the situation. As I was saying, yeah, exactly. They did send a small army up here, but that's easily dealt with. We're not at war yet with Madlan. Okay. Why did he move his army there? That is interesting. What is this guy doing? So, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to speak with Madlan. This is a small trick, and this way we'll be able to destroy Liguria. We're going to speak with Madlan and initiate diplomacy. We're going to join war against Liguria, and they should accept. So now we're fighting Liguria. And why is that important? These guys are on forced march. Our army is pretty much full health, and this should be an ambush. We ambush them, and this army is going to get wiped out. This is a really, really strong army, and we're going to auto-resolve this fight for the memes. Very high. I need to get rid of those hostati and replace them. Anyway, this army, since it was caught an ambush, should be killed, and we got 2,000 gold. Are you kidding me? This is something I don't understand. It's when you are on forced march, you get the problems, you die instantly. They are on forced march, you do not get the problems. But that's okay. In this case, we'll just get the logistics, and we will get her ladyship to come back to the back to him. Now, in this case, we push back that army, which was potentially coming to Velatri. This army back here will be held by the army inside there, which is Principes Ferrari, Plebs and Levies. And as I was saying, this guy just has Italian spearmen, which are just a trash unit, and we have some very strong Principe units back here. We have 4,000 gold. We're going to take this opportunity to start recruiting another force back here. Now, we will look if we have anyone from our faction, and I will explain that just before I start tuning out in the 10-minute mark. So we will get another guy from the House of Junia. We will raise an army, and we will raise an army of 3 REI, and we'll put him in our menu. Now you will get 4 of those and 2 horses. Those will supply this army heavily, as yeah. We'll start recruiting all of. We'll keep replenishing those, but after this turn, he will come over there and give the reinforcements. We need those horses because, as you saw, this guy Genoa had horses in their army, and that's going to be and prove quite disastrous for us if we have to fight against horses. Now we're going to end turn, and we should be safe, unless all of a sudden a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex shows up out of nowhere and start munching on my men, and I'll be like, oh my god. Or Hannibal shows up with 500 elephants. These are all possibilities in room 2, because the game is glitched, boys. It is glitched. Like, see what I was telling you? This is this never happens, and yet today, because I'm doing this video, it's happening. But these are Italian spearmen. They do have Pila, but the only really difficult unit is these spears. So it's telling us we don't have an option, but that's mostly because they're attacking from the sea. And we're gonna fight this on the battlefield. And I'm gonna show you how to defend this. This is the first fight. Keep in mind, this is on turn 8 legendary difficulty, and this is the first fight that we actually have to fight. Just goes to show how you can actually build a good army that can auto-resolve pretty much most of your fights. This is a decent settlement to defend as well. Quite easily defending that little center block over there. So it's nothing to be properly worried about. We do have similar numbers, even though it seems as if they have more out than us. They really don't. We have similar numbers, and we can sink 2 or 3 of their ships with our garrison fleet. If we kept our fleet, this would not have been at all even able to arrive here. But again, the issue comes not from that, but mostly from the situation that we're in. So as I was saying, yeah, this is an exceptionally easy to defend settlement. So what you do is you set up your Principes in such a manner, and they would not be able to even break through. You do there, and you stay there. You are reserve for this blob over here. The plebs are very important. Now, keep in mind that this is Demetrius Latukas. You'll not miss him. You can lose that unit. You can lose these units, but preferably don't lose the army units that you have. Why can you lose these units? Because those units are the units that you get from... Where is he? He's over here. You get for free from the settlement. Now, we also have these two. These two, we're going to try and sink that ship, because if we sink his general ship, it's absolutely fine and fantastic. So we need you in ramming mode, and we're going to start going. You ram that, and you ram that, and we should be okay. We're at ramming speed, and it should... These guys should not really survive this. Okay, that ship went down. One ram. Two ships are down. General is down. This is how the AI functions, and this is why you can actually cheese the AI a little bit. Ram it again. These transport ships, as I was telling you, are not really a problem whatsoever. You ram that settlement. So we already killed how many ships? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we've really broken a large number of their ships, and this settlement is just that easy to defend. So it's nothing that you really should be worried about. These guys have just pretty much wiped out an entire army on their own. And this guy is going to destroy that, and just destroy that. They have only 4 units that managed to land. Yep. It's just... Oh no, they had more troops here. Oh, I didn't see that. That's absolutely fine. But on this side, we've pretty much sunk their entire army into the ground, and it cost us nothing. While the ships are glitching. Okay, this ship is going to go down, hopefully. Oh, that was a close one. Come on! No, we didn't manage. We didn't manage. We did a decent amount of damage to them, though. How much troops left do they have? Restricted cameraman, I hate it. Yeah, these units are not really enjoying it. They're getting peeled from everywhere, and they're breaking already. Because most of their units have been lost at sea. As you saw with just these two, we've managed to wipe out that entire section. And I think we killed like 9 units just from these raiding Hamolia, which are super weak, but since they did not have any actual ships, this was quite an easy task to carry out. Now, in this case, he's not going to actually march. Oh, he's just going to march through there. Alright, so... Or is it really going to end up one of these... slug matches where, alright, you guys move there, you guys move here. Our plebs are holding the brunt of their force, and they're breaking, and the Italian spearmen over here should, I mean, this isn't even a contest of strength anymore, it's just us massacring them. Charge, throw your Pila in. and you guys come over here, and you should be able to throw your pila very easily into the flanks of that Italian. Oh, that was beautiful. See what I was saying? That pila throw is going to be just direct, straight to the point, and not much problems are being given. Principe unit falls there, Principe unit falls there, and that unit is pretty much broken already. You are wasting your pila. Just charge into the rear of that and you're okay. You guys come this way, and yeah, it's just an absolute massacre. Surround the units whenever you can. The AI generally does not react very well to how you move your units, and if once you flank a unit like this unit is going to die because, well, we just flanked it, and it's just going to go away. You guys charge in. I need you to come this way. Can you go down? No, doesn't matter. It just stands that, you know, they don't do well against this kind of fighting. Now this unit is slightly surrounded from our end, but doesn't matter. We can get our general in, and the general will charge that flank quite easily. We'll get you out of there, and you will charge there, you will charge there, and you should be able to throw your pila in freely. Just empty those pila throws, boys. You're gonna do just fine. No, I need you to stand like there. Throw your pila. What is happening here? I need you to come this way. You need to throw pila. They're breaking, they're shattering. Oh, they actually managed to break one of my hastati. I mean, it's still intact. And battle. Decisive victory. And that wasn't so hard, was it? And most of his army just pretty much died before it even got to land. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ships, 9 ships. Exactly, 9 ships died just from our 2 raiding Himalayas. Just rammed them twice and they just sank. Their general died early on, and he had only like 11 units left to fight, and these guys, they're not that good. Our unit just massacred them quite easily. I mean, 200 kills, and we still had so much in reserves. Most of our Principes didn't even fight, let alone. So yeah, not a problem whatsoever. The Etruscan lead at this point. Once you've taken the settlements away from them in Italy, it's very, very easy fight, and just they're gone. Now it seems we won't be able to capture the Casplina region within 10 turns, but it is imperative before you start expanding outside of Italy. It's just you need to secure the Italian peninsula, and then secure Sicily, and then securing Sardinia, Corsica. It is possible to do so within 20 turns. Within 25 turns you can be at attacking Carthage, but you first need to secure these provinces and capture these regions before you can do anything else. As you can see, we already have the start of another army, and this army would be good enough to start capturing Syracuse, and you know, there. Yeah, his army is gone. He doesn't have anything else, and we barely took any losses. And we took 1,500 gold. That army is going to start running away. If we can also just sally out and kill it. So we're doing very well on that side. We're building our third army. No. Just don't accept that kind of things at the start of the game. He did move an army up here, so we will need to run Pavatium, the army from Pavatium, all the way up there, and that's absolutely okay. They have landed in our territory, it's okay, we can deal with them. And we have another child. Ooh, they're being quite effective. So we do have a good army up here, and this army is in quite shattered. So if we move there, if I throw you in there, you can't move, because for whatever reason, when she touches you, you are gone. We should be able to, yeah, that army is just gone, and he is taking a lot of attrition. Oh, Genoa was taken by the Insubres, so yeah, he is taking a lot of attrition. Now, You see this bridge? It's very good to defend it, because if they attack you, they have to fight over the bridge. You are being reinforced by this army, and you can still build your troops there. So we're just going to build 6 units of Principes, and that army we will be able to transfer back to our dictator of Rome over there. This is just a simple mission of just running outside after this small remaining army, which honestly is... oh my god, sometimes this game glitches in the weirdest of areas. It's insignificant, but it's important that it's taken out, and that should be the end of it. And Etruscan League is gone. We'll get you a little bit more wealth, but it's not really that much. And I'm going to try and wrap this up in the next 5 minutes, because it will get tedious if we go beyond that. We will, of course, recruit this, level up that, and we're absolutely okay. We'll wipe out this, and we'll be ready for the end times. I'm taking the piss. There are no end times in this game. Not yet, not till you take the entire map under your control. We are on turn 9, and next turn is our final turn. So these were the first 10 turns of Rome and Total War Rome 2. I hope you enjoyed them. We should not be getting any significant battles over the end turn. The army here will attack because they are panicking, running around to find a settlement. But really and truly, there's no problem left. We've taken care of the Etruscans, we have taken care of our economy, it's being built up, and yeah, he sieged us. We can clean that up next turn because we're not even recruiting inside the settlement. Oh, no, Liguria attacked us. This is an auto-resolvable fight. He does not have any troops left. We will do protective stance, and Liguria has been pretty much annihilated, with the exception of that one naval army that they have over there. And these guys will, Medland will be easy to take. You just need these 2 armies to be built up reasonably well. Get rid of the Hastati at this point, start getting Principes, and you should be able to move in and conquer everything. Arrows over at me. Yeah, just stay away from me, please. Thank you very much. We will go up here. We have a very solid army already. Tier 2 army that actually is. This is healing up, but of course it's better if you start replacing the Hastati with Principe. So what you need is just bring him down to Arminium, and the dictator will be able to get a decent level of troops. That army we were just going to ignore. We're going to land and stay in Neapolis for the time being, and our economy is doing well. We're slowly growing. We can start upgrading the garrison militia on Brundisum. Brundisum is ideal garrison militia because simply invasion from Epirus is almost expected, or from the Adrii. Now, after, what do you do after turn 10? So you finish capturing Claspina. You should be able to capture it within the next 2 or 3 turns. This army is almost healed up. They are weakened because they were fighting each other, and you have another army back here. So you capture Genoa, you siege Medlan, and support it from Genoa. You bring one of those armies down to Medlan, you create a trade agreement with Massilla, you destroy the Etruscan lead, and then you siege Caralis, and you siege Liabellum. Leave Syracuse alive, because Syracuse will join you if you ask it to attack Carthage. If Syracuse joins Carthage, it is one of those places where the AI is just going against everything you care about. Just burn it down, take the settlement. It's an amazing food settlement, and you will do very well there. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. The 20 turn guide in 10 turns. I'm going to try and do 10 turn guides because it is obviously more complex than 20 turn guide, and it's good to just discuss everything. I hope I helped you and it was useful. I will do a video separately on the political system in Rome and how to control it and how to deal with it at an advanced level. I have some save files here and there where I can discuss it on the different implications of that, because that is something that I think needs a video on its own accord, and it's not something I could find per se, so a little bit of research is needed in that regard. Thank you for watching. If you did like it, subscribe to the channel. I'll create more content like this. There will be a link down below towards Spiffing Britt's video where he did this with cheese and lots of cheese and tea. Of course, you always need tea. I will also put a link down in the description box below for what other faction did you want to see come up. It's titled 20 turn faction, but I'm going to start doing 10 turns because it's more feasible and viable. 4 to 5 minute videos are more enjoyable than 2-hour videos. It took me 10 turns, 4 to 5 minutes, so kind of a bit complicated. So rambling, so at this point I tell you good night, good morning, good afternoon, and I hope you're well, guys. Take care. See you tomorrow.